everybody. Welcome to your yoga practice. I'm Paradise, and I'm going to be guiding you through a slow flow today. So we are going to be moving a little bit slower, which can sometimes be deceivingly challenging. Yeah. So please listen to your body, and if something doesn't feel right, feel free to come on out and just join me. The next posture. There's definitely no law that says that you have to do every single pose. All right, with that, let us go ahead and get started. We're going to just take a few moments here and arrive. So if you would find a comfortable seat, I've propped myself up on a blanket to help me find a long spine without near as much effort. Feel free to do that as well. And if you have a couple of yoga blocks, go ahead and grab those. We will use them today. And if you don't, no big deal. Feel free just to grab a couple of thick books. All right, let's go ahead and close the eyes and take a few moments to arrive. So if you would here, please roll the shoulders up and then back and down. Lift through the heart and start to lengthen up through the spine. Take a deep, full breath in. And then let's sigh this first one out. We'll do that once again. Deep, full breath in. Exhale, release, and let go. One last one. Make it your biggest breath yet. Deep, full breath in. Open mouth, exhale, release, and let go. And just allow yourself a few moments here to check in and observe and notice. A moment to notice our bodies. A moment to notice our minds. And a moment to notice our current emotional state or our hearts. With every breath that you take here, untethering ourselves a bit from the world outside of us so that we can tune into the world within. And here, let's bring our palms together at our hearts and we'll bow our minds in. And if you like working with an intention in your practice, I welcome you to add that piece in now. This could also be more of a dedication or an offering or a prayer of sorts. We'll just take a few moments to sit with whatever it is that's in our hearts, whatever it is that's bringing us to our mats today. And then let's take one more deep breath in as if you're drawing intention into the very center of you. Big open mouth exhale, let it go. Share it with the universe. And we'll go ahead and release the hands and open the eyes. All right, let us get started. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I have moved my blanket off to the side, but I do have it nearby just in case. And I went ahead and just set my blocks up right near the top of the mat so that they're nice and handy. And we're going to start today in a child's pose. So for this first expression, there's different ways to do this posture. Today we're going to go ahead and take the knees wide, bring our big toes to touch. We're going to send the hips back towards the heels and just take a few moments here to open up the spine. I often like to rock a little bit side to side as I move into postures, just to kind of ease the body in. And we'll take the forehead down to the ground here. And we'll just take a few moments to breathe into our back body. Big breath in. And a full breath out. On an inhale, let's go ahead and walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat and just reach a little further with your left fingertips. Draw your left hip crease back and take a deep mindful breath into your left side. Opening up our ribs, opening up our left waist, our left armpit. We'll take one more big breath here and out. On an inhale, we'll walk the hands through center and then all the way over to the other side, reaching a little further with the right fingertips as we draw the right hip crease back. And again, a deep mindful breath into the right side body. I welcome you to be as attentive to your body as you can throughout your practice. On an inhale, we'll come on back through center, a little moment to pause here. And then we're going to open up the back of the left shoulder. So we'll take the left arm underneath the right armpit, let your left cheek find the earth. A breath or two here. Really the key to our practice is this sense of presence. It's being awake and alert in our bodies in this moment. On your next inhale, go ahead and come on back through center. Give yourself a moment to pause. And then when you're ready, we'll do this on the other side. So you'll take the right arm underneath the left armpit. Your right cheek's gonna find the earth, and you'll find your breath in this shape. On an inhale, come on back through center. Give yourself a moment to pause. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and rise up, tabletop position. Find your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath the hips. Let's move into the spine here a bit. We'll cat-cow. So as you inhale, you'll lift the heart and the tail of the belly soft and down towards the ground. As you exhale, dome and round your back. We'll do that a couple more times. Again, inhale, open up through the chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your spine, press the ground away from you. Feel your shoulder blades separate back behind you. One more time, inhale and exhale. We'll find neutral here, and we'll just take a moment to really wake up, ignite the core. So we're gonna go ahead and curl the toes under, and we'll lift through the knees. Just a little hover. Now we want the spine nice and long here, so the crown of the head keeps reaching away from the tailbone. One more deep, full breath in. Exhale, let's go ahead and take the hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And we'll just take a few moments and arrive here. So make sure your fingers are spread out nice and wide. Your wrists are rooting down into the ground, but you're also pressing down into the finger pads just as much as you are your wrists. And you can pedal through the feet here. Just gonna check in with your body and notice how it feels to be in this shape. We'll take another big breath in. Open off, exhale, let it go. And then we're going to slowly begin to walk the hands towards the back of the mat. Take as much time as you need here. And bend your knees. It's early yet in the practice, so let the lengthening of the legs come a little bit later. We'll put a big bend in the knees so that we can really find a nice stretch for the spine. Head heavy, you might shake the head yes, you might shake it no. Toes spread out wide. And then when you're ready, let's slowly begin to roll up one vertebra at a time. Taking your time here, unhurried and unrushed. And here at the top, we'll come up to standing. Rolling the shoulders back, lifting through the heart. We're going to find our heels about sitting bones distance apart and really think about engaging your leg muscles. So lifting through the kneecaps, hugging muscles to bones. We also work with something called bandhas or locks in our yoga practice. One is at the pelvic floor. See if you can find a little lift there and think about engaging your belly as well. So this is our root lock and our navel lock, or our core really. So we want to keep this up nice and stable as we move through the practice. Shoulders stay down, the back, big inhale. We're going to take the arms out and up, reach. Let's grab onto our left wrist. Give yourself a little tug, a little pull over to the right. Once again, stretching that left side. Inhale, come on up through center, and exhale over to the other side. Inhale, come on back up and reach. Exhale, let's cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Inhale, we'll once again reach. Exhale, bend into your knees to bow. Inhale, we'll find Ardha Uttanasana. That translates into half forward fold. So press into your thighs. Really think about lengthening the spine, crown of the head reaching away from the tailbone. Exhale to release and let go. And we'll start to walk the hands forward, finding our way into a high plank pose. So again, working back into the core here. And if you do find that high plank is a bit challenging, you can always take the knees down. So meet yourself wherever you are on your mat. This is called a practice because there's like an endless slew of postures and variations of the postures. And I've yet to meet someone that can find their way through all of them right at the get-go. We slowly build up. And I'm just talking here to kind of try to distract you from the fact that we're still holding this posture, this position, getting really strong in the belly. We'll take one more big breath in. Exhale, take the knees down, elbows towards the wrists. Slowly come all the way down to the ground, taking as much time as you'd like. Here we're going to find Cobra. Root down through the heels of the hands. Really drag the heels of the hands back. Hug those elbows in. Pull the heart through the frame of the arms. And root down to the tops of your feet to stretch your ankles. We'll take another big breath in. Exhale, release, and let it go. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. We arch the back. We find this extension in the spine. Exhale to release and let go. 1 more time. Inhale, find Cobra. Exhale, slowly release. On your next inhale, let's again press back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. And a full breath out. Again, inhale here. Exhale, let it go. 1 more. You might try lion's breath. Stick out your tongue, take your gaze to your third eye, or between the brows here. With an inhale, let's go ahead and kick that right leg back. On an exhale, draw the knee in towards the nose. Really round your spine. See if you can actually make contact. Again, inhale, we'll kick our right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, round in. 1 more time, inhale, we kick the right leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, stay for your breath in. Exhale, release the foot at the top of the mat. We're going to lower our left knee down to the earth. So this would be a good place for a blanket if you do feel that your knee is tender. And I'm going to go ahead and grab for my blocks just to kind of prop myself up a little bit here. So we do want the blocks right underneath the shoulders so we can really press into them and lift out of the low back. We want to find some engagement in the front of the left thigh. So the more you can think about rooting down through your left shin and drawing your left knee towards the right heel, the more of an engagement you might find in that left thigh. We'll take a big breath here. As you exhale, we're going to start to extend through the right leg, so finding half splits pose. Keep going again. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Exhale, extend through the right leg. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Let's come back into this half splits pose, or also called Ardha Hanumanasana, and we'll hold and breathe here. Nice stretch for the hamstring. Notice I brought the blocks with me, so I'm not reaching for them. I'm going to continuously try to find length in my spine, opening up the heart, hugging the belly in. We'll take a breath in. If you like, you might hinge at the hips here. Bow a little deeper in, but only if your hamstrings are in agreement. So again, really working to tune in and listen to the body, meeting ourselves wherever we are in the practice today. It changes day to day. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and bend back into the right knee. You can move the blocks out of the way. We'll find the left hand underneath the left shoulder. And then you can take the right hand to the hip, or you might take it to the sky. But we're going to really think about opening, spiraling the torso over towards the right here. Take another big breath in. Exhale, unwind. We'll curl the back toes under, lift the back knee. With a big inhale, let's go ahead and step the right leg back, high plank pose. I promise I'm not going to hold you here quite as long. We'll take another big breath in, and then let's go ahead and lower down to the ground. You can drop your knees as we did before, or you might come straight down, but only, again, if the back can really support this movement here. Let's find a different back bend now. We're going to find locust pose. I'm going to reach the arms back for this one. Think airplane arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Crown of the head reaches forward. And this time we get to float the toes as well. So again, thinking about opening up the heart, finding this extension in the spine. And if you want a little something extra for the hamstrings, we might actually put a little bend in the knees. So activating those hamstrings, strengthening while we stretch. Take another big breath in, and then exhale, release. On your next inhale, press up and back. Again, downward facing dog. And we find our breath. Big breath in. Full breath out. Again, inhale. And exhale. 1 more. This might be lion's breath. Tongue out, third eye. As you inhale, your left leg will rise. Exhale, knee to nose, round forward, shoulders over the wrist.
Again, inhale, kick the left leg back. Exhale, draw that knee in towards your nose, round, round, round. One more time, inhale, kick the left leg back. Exhale, knee to nose, stay for your breath in. Exhale, release the foot at the top of the mat. Right knee is gonna lower down to the earth. Inner thighs hug in. With a big inhale, we're gonna come to rise. Find Anjaneyasana, or a kneeling lunge here on the left side. Again, feel free to add in that blanket if the right knee's talking to you. Have a nice thick padded mat here, so I'm doing okay. But we do want to find some engagement in the front of the right thigh. So think about rooting down through that right shin, drawing right knee towards the left heel. The more we can stay active in our muscles as we stretch, the healthier for the joint, the more protected our joints are. We'll take another big breath here. As you exhale, let's go ahead and extend through that left leg, draw the left toes back. Bring the blocks with you a couple times here. Inhale, we'll move forward. We find Anjaneyasana. Exhale, half splits or Ardha Hanumanasana. If the Sanskrit's not coming yet, that's okay. It takes time. Big breath in and exhale, come on back. So Sanskrit's the language that a lot of these postures are called out in, and a lot of yoga sutras, the information we have on yoga is actually written in. All right, so we're going to take a big breath here. Again, think about drawing the shoulders back, the heart is lifted, the belly's engaged. We take an inhale. If you like to hinge at the hips here, maybe bow a little deeper. Feel free to try that on, but again, do listen to the body. We don't want you to pull anything today, or ever really. On your next inhale, we'll go ahead and bend back into the left knee. You can move the blocks out of the way. Right hand underneath your right shoulder. Left hand is welcome to stay at the hip, or you might open up the left fingertips towards the sky. Really, the point of this posture is to open up the torso. We'll take another big breath in. Exhale, unwind. Go ahead and curl the back toes under, lift the back knee. With an inhale, we'll step our left leg to the back of that high plank pose. Stay for your breath in. Exhale again, we'll lower all the way down to the ground. You get to choose if you want to drop those knees down first. No shame in that. And we'll once again reach back for locust. Now, you can find those airplane arms like we did before, or you might find a bind this time. If that's available to you, you can interlace the fingers. And again, you want to lift the nose and the toes, fanning out the toes, crown of the head reaching. Maybe again, putting a little bend in the knees to engage the hamstrings. We'll take another big breath in. Exhale, release. On your next inhale, press it back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Here we are again. Big breath in. Open up, exhale, let it go. Again, inhale and exhale. One more. Again, maybe lion's breath. We're going to take a funny little walk to the top of the mat here. This is some functional movement for the hips. We're going to take our right foot forward and out to the left foot forward and out to the right foot forward and out to the left. We're just going to kind of keep going in this way till you can't anymore. And then you'll just step one foot next to the other. Here at the top, we'll press into the thighs, shins get nice and long in the spine. Find a flat back. Exhale to release and let go. Let's rise up into chair pose, Utkatasana. We'll hold and breathe here. So in chair, I just kind of caught myself. I want to make sure we can see our toes. If not, the knees scooch out of the way. And then really thinking about engaging the belly. So there's a tendency here to kind of sink into the low back. We really want to feel our belly supporting the low back instead. The shoulders stay down the back. You can extend through the arms. You might cactus the arms if this feels better in your neck and shoulders. You can always try, see what feels good in the body, or you can take the arms out of the equation altogether. Already plenty of work here in the legs. Big breath in, full breath out. I do have the feet sitting nose distance apart, so I don't have the toes touching, because we're going to do a little balance play here. So we're going to shift into the right leg. You might just come onto the ball of the left foot, or you might float the left foot all together. And really try to stabilize now through this right side. Notice if your right knee is doing a dance, see if you can quiet there and really let the dance happen in the ankle, working to strengthen there. We'll take another big breath in. And exhale, release over to the other side we go. So really rooting through the left foot, coming onto the ball of the right foot, or floating the right toes all together. Notice that one side is more challenging than the other. This one is definitely, for me, I can feel a difference. Take another big breath in. Exhale, release. As you inhale, let's come all the way up. We'll take the arms out and up. Reach, opening up the shoulders as we do. Exhale, palms together at the heart. This is called Samastiti, or equal standing pose. So take a few moments and find your feet firmly on the ground. Feel your weight equally distributed. Think about lifting up and shoring up as you need to. And feel free to adjust and get nice and comfortable. So a moment to be here. A moment to notice and feel in your body in this shape as you progress through some of the practice now. Just kind of check in. And then with a big inhale, let's again take the arms out and up, reach. We're going to grab onto our left wrist, a little tug over to the right. If you like, you might take this left foot back behind you and over to the right. Root down to the left heel for a curtsy. Inhale, come on back, up and reach. Exhale, side bend over to the left. Again, you could take this right foot back behind you. Root down to the right heel. And just kind of deepening into the side stretch a bit more. Inhale, come on back up through center. Exhale, cactus the arms. We're going to again bring the hands back behind us. And maybe find that bind. You can always grab a strap or a towel here in between the hands if the bind's not coming. And just for fun, try your non-dominant grip. So we sometimes call the stranger grip, just to kind of get out of our patterning, yeah? As you inhale, let's lift the heart. You might even lift the gaze to open up the throat. Exhale, bend the knees, let the belly and thighs meet first, and then we'll extend the legs from there. Head heavy. Hands want to come off the sacrum and towards the sky. Try to relax the head, try to relax your toes, try to relax your jaw. Take another big breath in. Exhale, let's release that bind. We take a moment to set the spine, so we'll press into the thighs, shins get nice and long. Exhale, release the hands down. Step or hop your feet to the back of the mat. If you're in the camp that's stepping back 1 foot at a time, notice what foot steps back first. See if you can change that from time to time. Here we are again, our good friend, high plank pose, getting nice and strong in the belly. We're going to take another big breath in. You can lower all the way down again as we've done before, or you might lower down to what we call chaturanga, really bottom of a push-up, and breathe there for a moment. Inhale, we find length in the spine. We're going to find upward facing dog. Escaping me there for a moment. Drawing the shoulders back, lifting through the heart. Exhale, take it back. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. And a full breath out. We're going to right away go ahead and start moving from here. So with an inhale, we're going to kick our right leg back. Exhale, draw that knee in towards your nose, round in. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, release the foot at the top of the mat. I'm going to bring my left foot in and out to the left, close enough to where I can root down to that left heel. Big inhale, come all the way up into a warrior one or Virabhadrasana one. A moment to pause here. Feel free to adjust your feet. You want to feel really strong and stable, like a warrior. Yeah? Shoulders stay down the back. And here we'll bend into the left elbow. Find your right hand there. Think about lengthening left side body. We'll take a big breath in. As you exhale, a little side bend over to the right. This one's a really good one to open up the psoas, which tends to get tight, especially if we do a lot of sitting. Inhale, come on back up once again and reach. Exhale, we're going to extend to the right leg. Bring your hands down to our blocks. And if the blocks seem really far, you might just bring the hands anywhere really along this right thigh. Drawing right hip crease back, keeping the spine long. So long line of energy from the crown of your head through the tailbone. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, you might bow in again. Think about hinging at the hips here, getting a little deeper into those hamstrings. We'll take an inhale and take an exhale. Every time you breathe in this practice, you have this opportunity to grow and find a little bit more length. And
every time you exhale to maybe go a little deeper or surrender or soften. On your next inhale, let's again press into our blocks or the thigh. Find that nice flat back. Let's take the left hand to our block right underneath the shoulder if it's not there already. Right hand's gonna find the hip. I'm gonna grow the spine as I breathe in over and over again. And then exhale, we'll roll the right shoulder back. Now you might stay here or you might extend up through your right arm. Again, only if this feels good in your body. There's no requirement that says that you have to extend the arm. Meet yourself wherever you are. Take another big breath in. Let's exhale, unwind. We're gonna go ahead and bend into the front knee. Take both feet back, high plank pose. Big breath in. Exhale, let's again lower all the way down to the ground. And we'll find Bhujangasana or Cobra pose here. Tops of the feet stay on the ground and root here for this one to stretch out the ankles. Exhale to lower on your next inhale. Take it back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Sigh it out, let it go. Again, big breath in. Full breath out. And one more. Another opportunity to play with that lion's breath here. Tongue out, third eye. With an inhale, your left leg will rise. Exhale, knee to nose, round forward, shoulders over the wrists. Stay for your breath in. Exhale, release the foot at the top of the mat. And then we're going to bring that right foot in and out to the right. So you can root down to that right heel. Inner thighs hug in with a big inhale. We come to right. So those bandhas, those locks we were talking about at the beginning of our session are really important here. So I'm continuously lifting through the belly, lifting through the pelvic floor to support me in this shape. We'll take another big breath in. Exhale, bend into your right elbow and find your left hand there. And think length along the right side body as you inhale. Exhale, little side bend over to the left. Let's stretch out that psoas. We'll take another breath in and out. As you inhale, come on back up once again. Reach. Exhale, let's go ahead and extend through that front leg as we take the hands down to our blocks or anywhere along this left thigh works great. I'm going to think length like a half forward fold as I breathe in. Exhale, bowing in a little deeper as I breathe out. Really just feeling into the hamstrings here. Breath in and breath out. Again, every time you inhale, you want to feel a sense of length in the body. And every time you exhale, you have this opportunity to maybe go a little deeper, only if the body is in agreement. On your next inhale, let's once again find length, so recover. Find the torso parallel to the earth, right hand on the block, left hand to hip. We'll take another inhale here for length. Exhale, let's twist open to the left. You might keep this left hand on the hip, or you might extend through the arm if this feels good for you. Take another big breath here. Exhale, unwind. Let's go ahead and bend into the front knee. Plant the hands and step it back. High plank pose. Take a big breath in. Exhale, let's again lower all the way down to the ground. We'll once again find locust pose. This is my favorite back bend, the best back bend really we can do given what we tend to do in our lives, most of us anyway, sitting at desks or driving, or a lot of life has us kind of shrugging forward. This helps undo some of that. And then again, if you want that little bit of extra something, put a bend in those knees. We'll take another big breath in. Exhale, release, let go. On your next inhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Again, inhale. And exhale. One more. And a final opportunity for that lion's breath. Tongue out, gaze to the third eye. You know, it might feel a little silly, but give it a try, see how it feels. All right, we're gonna again take one of those zigzag walks to the top of the mat. This time we'll start with the left leg. We're gonna take the left leg forward and out to the right, right foot forward and out to the left, left over to the right, right over to the left,
till we can't anymore. And then we'll step one foot next to the other. At the top of the mat, we take a moment to set the spine, to find a little bit more length. Exhale to release and let go. And then let's come back into that chair pose, Utkatasana. We're near the end of our practice. Believe it or not, we're going to just make our way down to the ground. Just a few more poses here. So I invite you to kind of play along with me. Those of you who take class with me from time to time, you've probably seen me do this. We've done this together. We're going to take a big breath in, and we're going to sit a little bit lower in our chair. Maybe a little bit lower than we'd like to go. Again, we'll take a big breath in. Exhale, sit even lower in your chair. Take another inhale. Exhale, sit in the tiniest chair you've ever sat in your whole life. Take another big breath in. You might try to come to have a seat without the use of the hand. Maybe the hands have to get involved. No big deal, just something to play with and practice. And then here, right away, let's find a little bit more work for the core. So lift through the heart, hug that belly in, and lean back. You are welcome to grab behind the thighs. As you do this, you might keep the feet on the ground, play with lifting one at a time, or you might lift both feet. You might release your grip. You might extend the legs. You might extend the arms. You might decide that was a terrible idea and do a little less. Yeah, meet yourself. Again, I'll say it over and over again, wherever you are on the mat any given day, because it changes. It changes day to day, depending on the time of day, what you've done the day before, what it is that you're going through. All along here, we're breathing into our bellies. We'll take one more big breath in, and then exhale. Let's come down into what we call a low boat. My feet are still hovering. My hands are hovering. We'll take another inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down. Let's reach long here. Fingertips away from the toes. Get as long as you can. Exhale, let's draw those knees into the belly. Give yourself a little squeeze, a little rock side to side. I'm going to reach for one of my blocks. We're going to come into a restorative bridge here. So we're going to bring the feet a little bit closer in, about sitting bones distance apart. I'm going to press into my heels. I'm going to lift my booty up, and I'm going to go ahead and set it down on a block. Now you can set any setting of the block, just depends on what the body needs. I'm going to go ahead and come to this first setting of the block and just give ourselves a few moments to restore. Let the spine find neutral here. You can close the eyes down and come back to the breath if you've lost that connection, and really try to start to lengthen it a bit more now. Big breath in and a full breath out. Slowly beginning to prepare for our final resting posture of Shavasana. A few more moments here, a few more breaths here. And then when you are ready, let's go ahead and press into the feet. We'll pick the hips up, move the block out of the way. And right away, let's actually go ahead and keep pressing into the feet. We'll pick the hips up and scooch them slightly right of the mat, slightly right of the shoulders. On an inhale, draw the knees in towards the belly. Get them as close in as you can. As you exhale, we're going to take the knees across the body. We're going to come over to the left with the knees, working to keep right shoulder down. For some of us, the knees might not come to the ground. They may be hovering, no big deal. That's what the blocks are here for. You can always take a block underneath that bottom leg. Or you might be able to take the bottom leg down, but there's a lot of room in between the thighs, in which case you're welcome to take the block in between the thighs. We want this to be a restful posture now. And you might take your gaze over the right shoulder. So really the most important piece is that this right shoulder is down on the ground. That's where the twist can really happen. And again, taking the drishti, the gaze over the right shoulder, will help us open up the neck here as well. Let's take one more breath here and out. If you have any props, go ahead and move them out of the way. With the big inhale, we'll bring everything back up through center. We're going to press into the feet, scooch the hips over to the left side of the mat. Knees are going to come into the belly, and over to the right. Again, I'm trying to keep this left shoulder rooted, and you might take the gaze over that left shoulder. Breath in, and breath out. On an inhale, we'll come on back through center. Press into your feet, make sure your hips and shoulders are back in the same line. You might try happy baby here. You can do modified variation of the posture by simply drawing the knees in towards the armpits and rocking a bit side to side. You might flex the feet and take the soles of the feet to the sky. You can grab behind the thighs, the calves, the ankles. You might be able to grab the heels here. And again, a little bit of rocking side to side. So there's a playful element to this posture. And then as you are ready, please release, let go. Go ahead and extend through the legs, let the arms come by your side. It is time for rest. And when you do find your way to this final resting posture, give yourself a few breaths. Deep, full breath in and out to really settle in. And if having the legs extended doesn't feel great in the low back, you could always bend the knees and let the knees fall in towards one another. So that's another way to take this shape. And about 5 to 10 breaths here at the minimum. Maybe even resting here for a minute or two if you have the time. And then as you are ready, so feel free if you'd like to rest a little longer to press pause, on the screen here and continue to rest. But whenever you do feel ready, we'll slowly begin to wake the body. So we'll wiggle fingers, toes, we'll stretch and reach, really moving in any way that feels good now. You might once again bring the knees into the belly and give yourself a little hug, rock a bit side to side. You might take a moment on your side body in the fetal pose. And then when you are ready, we'll come on up to a seat. And a moment here to acknowledge your practice, give thanks to body, give thanks to breath, bowing in. Thank you so much for joining me today.